Well, Briggs and Dan, that speech will kick off around 8 o'clock our time tonight. We're told the president may highlight many of his accomplishments during his time in office, including the work he's done to help lower prescription drug prices. It's a topic Senator Amy Klobuchar's guest knows all too well. Ann Buzzy, who hails from Side Lake near Hibbing, was awarded the Minnesota Department of Rural Health Hero Award this past November. Senator Klobuchar says Buzzy has fought to improve the lives of seniors in the state, and she understands the challenges older people face accessing affordable prescriptions, especially in rural communities. Buzzy is hoping Biden will continue his work lowering prescription drug prices. While she's excited to be at the State of the Union, she also knows the issues she's raising awareness for are profoundly important.
What a thrill to come from, Yashir, you betcha land to Washington, D.C. and the issue that Senator Klobuchar is bringing up is personal for us. My husband has a drug that costs over $10,000 a year.
In 2022, Congress passed legislation that included provisions led by Senator Klobuchar to allow Medicare to negotiate prescription drug prices directly with pharmaceutical companies. Now, this year, negotiations began on 10 costly and widely used medications in Medicare. As for Senator Smith, she'll be joined by Tammy Kromenacher, the director of the Red River Women's Clinic in Moorhead. For 25 years, that facility was located across the river in Fargo until the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, causing the move. Kromenacher is hoping Biden will make abortion access part of his speech. She says it's an issue that could determine the outcome of the election.
I think Democrats know that abortion is a driving issue. And so it's just an honor to be here and to provide some background and to talk about the obstacles that both providers and patients have had to face in this post-ops world.
Kromenacher says since that decision, she's seen 10 to 15% of increase in patients needing access to reproductive care. Senator Smith says if Donald Trump and House Republicans gain more power, they could try to pass a national ban on abortion, which could impact people in Minnesota where it's currently legal. And Buzzy and Kromenacher aren't the only guests from Minnesota attending tonight. Keenan Jones, a middle school teacher from Plymouth, will be joining the First Lady in her box. Jones is one of nearly 800,000 teachers and other public servants who have received student loan forgiveness since Biden took office.
Thank you, Rob. Congressman Pete Stauber is bringing Hibbing Mayor Pete Heiduch tonight. We reached out for an interview, but Stauber's team said they weren't available. Rep. Tom Tiffany of Wisconsin is not bringing a guest. You can watch the State of the Union here on Northern News Now starting at 8 o'clock.